Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to my channel. In today's session, I shall help you to learn vocabulary, and I have covered one of the most significant topics, and of course it is widely discussed nowadays. The topic here is environment. If I say environment, I would certainly say that it is our primary duty to protect environment. Here I would like to discuss with you a range of fixed expressions and phrases that can help you to make your writing an essay on environment more effectively. Let us start the discussion. The first fixed phrase here is disposal of household waste. I can use this phrase while expressing my ideas on the disposal process of the household waste. For example, I can make a statement like this: the disposal process of household waste is quite expensive. Yes, because there is enormous amount of the household waste that we have to treat or we have to dispose of on regular basis. Yes, it has become one of the biggest challenges nowadays, especially for big cities and metropolitan areas. Second phrase here is irresponsible manner. That means it is just opposite of responsibility. So I can say that some of the toxic wastes are disposed of in an irresponsible manner. So I'm putting this phrase maybe at the end of the sentence. Of course, you can use it maybe in the middle of the sentence depending on the sentence structure. Let us continue with the next phrase, that is extremely harmful. As in, when I look into a negative situation, most probably I can say that extremely. If something is harmful, rather saying it is very harmful, I can say that it is extremely harmful. I would also give you one more example. If the situation is quite negative, I can also use another phrase. For example, excruciatingly painful, excruciatingly uncomfortable, excruciatingly boring. So, like this. So, if it is harmful, I can also say that it is highly will not be suitable here. I would say that it is extremely harmful. Let us continue with the next phrase here, on a global scale. So, if something is spreading across the globe, I can say that it is found to be on the global scale. Environment has become one of the issues that has to be dealt with no delay on a global scale. And some of the issues are there, like carbon emission, I can say, carbon footprint. So some of the issues are constantly rising and they are actually becoming big concerns in the upcoming days. So we have to take the decisions timely. Next phrase here is only a partial solution. If suppose a solution is provided and I feel like that it is not a complete solution, then I can say that this is only a partial solution. So I mean to say this solution that has been provided will not help us to solve the whole problem. Am I right? So it could be very challenging situation for us. And next phrase here is long term solutions. Especially whenever we talk about the problems like environment, of course we have to talk about the solutions. Now again, it depends on the approaches that we follow. Here we wish to have long term solutions. And one more thing that you have to observe here, long term is actually a single word, but it is a hyphenated word. Okay, so you also have to improve your writing skills. You have to observe the spellings. Also note it down that which of the words that I have written and they are hyphenated words. This will help you a lot. Next phrase here is changing weather conditions. So can I say that the changing weather conditions have led to a big problems? It has resulted in big problems. Yes, some of the times, suppose there are widespread floods across the some regions. It actually results into disastrous outcomes, and I can also say that the human activities that we are going to have, that we are actually doing in the present environment, it comes with the dire consequences. So dire here means extremely bad results. So that I'm saying using another phrase, that is dire consequences. Okay. So next phrase here is absolutely vital. If you find something is very important, of course I can say that it is very important, it is very significant. But if I say like this, it is absolutely vital for us to take a step timely. So that means it is very, very important for me. So here the word that I'm using, absolutely vital, this phrase is more effective rather saying very important or very significant. I'm not saying that if you are saying very important, yes, there's nothing wrong as such, but somewhere there is an impact. The kind of the words that I'm using, the vocabulary, it matters a lot, especially when we are meeting someone, and it actually helps us to create a kind of image. Am I right? The first impression that we generally say. Next phrase here is offsetting carbon emissions. So I believe you understand carbon emissions. So now we have to understand what is the meaning of offsetting carbon emissions. Offsetting carbon emission here means we cannot end up the problems immediately, but to some extent offsetting here means we can reduce its impacts to some extent. To some extent, if something is harming me a lot, so I could have some disposal process through which its harmful effects on the environment could be on the lower side or on the lower footing. So here I can also use this phrase in my day-to-day conversation, especially when I'm talking or I'm finding the remedies or those effective solutions for environment problems. Is it environment problems or environmental problems? I would say environmental problems, not environment problems. Okay, so here I can say that the offsetting means I'm trying to reduce the impact to such an extent that so it is less harmful for the environment. Next phrase here is dire consequences. As I discussed earlier, dire consequences means the consequences which can be extremely harmful or extremely bad or serious consequences, I can say in short. Okay. In order to avoid dire consequences, we should take timely decisions to protect environment in that way. So it depends on you how do you use this phrase in your sentence structure, and of course it largely depends on what message that you wish to convey to the audience. Okay. And next word, next phrase here is eco-friendly design. Especially whenever I'm talking about environment, of course I have to talk about something that is environmental friendly. Am I right? So what I can say here is eco-friendly product. This is an eco-friendly product. This is an eco-friendly design. One more thing that you should notice from here, eco-friendly is one word and this is a hyphenated word. I have written it very clearly, eco-friendly. And next word here is intense and searing heat. So that means rising heat. That we may not bear such extreme heat. There's a possibility. So in such scenario, I can say that I can even say that intense heat. That is also appropriate. Either you can say intense heat or intense and searing heat. And the next phrase here is combating climate change. So combating means you are just fighting against it. If something is not in your favor, you are trying to combat it. You are going to find out the best possible solution in order to avoid dire consequences or the serious consequences in a later stage. Okay, so next phrase here is environmental problems. As I discussed with you, if I say environment problems, this is incorrect. So rather saying environment, I would say environmental problems. This is very effective and meaningful phrase. And next phrase here is carbon footprint. So what does it mean by this? Is actually the measurement of what? Measurement of the carbon dioxide produced and how is it to be managed. I mean to say how we have to protect the environment, especially in a scenario where CO2 is rising all of a sudden, or to such an extent that it could also come out with dire consequences like this. So my dear friends, I hope you have learned a lot in this session, and the topic that we have discussed, environment. As and when suppose you are going to make a speech, maybe this is a topic, the topic is given to you on the spot, so always try to think about the past, how the problems actually emerged. So if you link present with the past, of course your speech is going to be more effective and audience will also be more impressed. So in that way, just knowing the idea, having the ideas is not sufficient. How do you express it matters a lot as far as communication skills are concerned. So in today's session I try to help you to learn a wide range of vocabulary on the topic known as environment. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to meet you again very soon. If you really like this video, you must like it, share it with others, and it is a kind of motivation for us so that we can come out with more videos with better quality. Thank you so much for watching. I will miss you. I will meet you again. Thank you so much.